Hey there, I'm glad to see you here. I'm the Mad Caster, and tonight I've got an update on the Ace family / McBroom family's pending foreclosure, and it looks like their house is going up for sale, although they could stop it at the last minute. And I've got the details on that and the rest of the dumpster fire that is their lives. Join me now. Let's get an update on the tornado of trash that is the McBroom family life. First, we had learned earlier this summer that McBroom's house, their mega mansion that they just moved into a couple of years ago, was going to be in foreclosure because they had defaulted on their payments. And I made a video about that and the process that's involved in foreclosure. So if you're interested to see steps that happen, I'll put a link down below for you. Despite making millions of dollars in their social media and other business enterprises, McBrooms somehow have managed to live well beyond their means and put their family home in danger. I feel bad for their kids because it's a very traumatic process, I'm sure, and it's going to displace them and upheave their whole lives. But I don't feel bad for the parents because Austin and Katherine are adults and they should have learned how to manage their money and not live beyond their means and not buy the fancy cars and the jet ski for the swimming pool. I don't know if you've seen some of that footage of idiot McBroom causing water to go down the hill and flood his neighbor's yards. I've been monitoring the auction websites and I saw that they've now posted that the sale of the McBroom house is scheduled for September 28th. It'll be a live in-person auction. It's not going to be at the house, which a lot of times it is. I've actually done these foreclosure sales in the past. Really embarrassing for me, and it was embarrassing for the homeowners, but you actually go and stand on the edge of the property because you have to put your foot on the property and do the foreclosure sale there, and everybody's standing around bidding. But this is going to be in front of a municipal building, so it won't be at the property. They have posted it, and it's, like I said, scheduled for September 28th, so we'll have to see if they rush in at the last minute and save their house, but it's looking less likely every day. In terms of the rest of the dumpster trash fire, earlier this summer we also learned that Katherine McBroom was being sued because she had attempted to screw her own company and her business partners by hijacking the company's social media and websites and basically trying to shut the whole thing down. That's still pending. And we had the king of bullshit, Austin McBroom, and his fiasco of his social gloves, where we learned that he didn't know what the hell he was doing. He promised everybody the moon. He didn't pay most of the participants, and there are a lot of pissed off people. There have now been several lawsuits filed. He tried to blame it on the promotion company, but of course, they fired back with a lawsuit showing that, in fact, it was Austin's alleged incompetence and failure to listen to people with experience that caused social gloves to be in the toilet and to be a complete failure. Then we heard that Katherine McBroom allegedly stole her own best friend's ideas right in front of her face and then proceeded to promote them as if they were her own. Now, she tried to smooth it over, but frankly, I thought it was a little lame, and I don't buy the crap that she's selling or that any of them are selling anymore. Then we learned that the Ace family was being accused of holding a sham Tesla giveaway, and apparently that turned out to be a fraud as well. You know, these things just keep adding up. Fraud runs in the fake McBroom family because now we've learned that brother Landon McBroom, whose fame only exists mostly because of his brother and his sister-in-law, but we learned that he has been stealing other people's content, trying to make himself look bougie and look like he's all living the good life. And in reality, he's just stealing like Instagram posts of luxury goods and trips and things and trying to pass it off as this is what he's doing. Pretty sorry excuse of a person in slimy to the core. I don't trust any of them as far as you could throw them. And we won't even go into the allegations of cheating and the drama around child custody and all that crap because that's a whole other story. Not one of these people seems to have any integrity or any sense of decency. You know, it's a shame, like I said, for the kids that this whole house of cards is crumbling around them. They've made their own mess, and now they're going to have to pay the consequences. And it's a really sad study on what happens when you just don't have any self-control. Now they're all drowning in scandal and lawsuits and innuendo and all sorts of other crap of their own making, and it's like a one giant cesspool of Ace family and McBroom family crap. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised, frankly. I have one question. How do you make all of that money they've allegedly made over the last several years with their websites and their businesses? How do you end up in the toilet? It's actually a rhetorical question because I know the answer. The answer is they have no self-control. They don't know how to manage their finances. They want all the latest toys. They want to splash their money around. And instead of trying to build a little nest egg and security for them and their kids, they've blown it all, and now this is what we're at. This is Gilles, by the way, who's staring at me because he wants to sit in my lap, but he weighs a lot and he's very heavy, but I'll get to him in just a minute. Recently, I also heard that Austin McBroom was talking about holding a second Social Gloves type event, and I just thought to myself, really? Are you fucking kidding me? Who in their right mind is going to go into business with this guy or put on an event with this guy knowing what a big mess he made of Social Gloves and how he screwed everybody over and he's being sued and it didn't make any money? So good luck with that. I don't think he'll find anybody to get into bed with him again for one of these things. So I think what they need to do is pull themselves together, focus again on their family, try to put their lives back together, maybe find a 12-step program for social media addiction, and maybe get a good accountant, somebody to manage their money for them. So going forward, maybe they can repair some of this damage and rebuild some semblance of a life for their kids. By the way, I've been following all of the lawsuits on a daily basis. I've been checking. Surprisingly, there have been no filings in any of the lawsuits. When a lawsuit gets filed against you, you have a certain amount of time after they serve it on you to file what's called an answer, which is basically a response to the allegations being made in the lawsuit. And I've yet to see the McBrooms file any answers in any of the cases. I think we're coming up close to the deadline now. I'll have to double check. And I haven't seen any motions to extend the time. So it's got to be imminent, and as soon as they file anything, you'll hear it about it. I'll get copies of it and I'll put it up for you to look at. I hope you enjoyed this video, this little update on the mess of the McBrooms, and I hope that you'll hit the thumbs up. I really would appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming by, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Pretty please. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell. I get a treat for every new sub. Thank you.